Good afternoon, aloha from tropical Montana, Montana Skywatchers 1 and 2. This is Samuel Hofman. Today is June 23rd, 2017. How you guys doing out there today? Little heads up on what's been going on. It's been really quite a very busy week, and a lot of really wonderful sightings coming in from all of our members of Montana Skywatchers 1 and 2. And I thank you guys all. Really, you're doing a fantastic job, especially a whole bunch of you guys that have really got a way better handle on things now that you're no understanding what you're saying. And of course my phone is ringing off in the distance as usual. um, anyway, yeah, it's really coming together. Everybody's getting some really great sightings. We got some planets in close pass, of course, and things are changing, so I figured I'd scroll up here and show you guys a few of the what's what and what's going on, and I'm going to do this as fast as possible, so I hope you bear with me here. So we're going to start on picture one. Really great sighting. As a lot of you know, that Attu has moved over again to the right-hand side, crossing the sun during the day and doing a real visible cutoff flare. You know, the real sun is like right here, and this is the side of Attu. And Attu's moon is here, Ion Drag-Off Tail. Now, we've been seeing a lot of real close sightings, I mean huge close sightings of the object cluster group, and people have been seeing the face, etc., etc. It's really cool. Saw it the other day, go over a few times with John Atkinson by eye, and it's phenomenally big and very, very fast, which means it's very, very close. And I believe everybody should bear a little watching of this. And there's some events and some rumors and things that are all playing up here to the end of the month. And if I were you, I would make sure you're aware of this. Anyway, moving along. All right, a lot of sightings are coming in. A darker area over on the left-hand side, and that's true as well. And there's kind of a reddish thing going on here, and I believe that's probably lead objects of the cluster group, but I'm not always correct. It could actually be the Saturn rounding. And for those of you who have seen my drawing of this week, we'll see a picture of it here, come scrolling in here real soon. But and for those of you who have not, then I suggest that you do. Anyway, moving along. Okay, everybody's seeing the moving, dragging ion clouds. There are objects in here, guys. You need to pay attention to what they're coming in. Um, I can't stress this enough. They're really, really close. And if you see, there's a bunch of pock marks and stuff, and there's shapes, and you've got to pay attention. Okay, this came from John Atkinson about 5-6 days ago. This is Attu cutting off the sun. This is the object cluster group. It always does this rainbow illumination. Those of you who've been watching this long enough recently understand all of this. This is transition as Attu is coming in and closer and getting bigger and bigger. And even this week, she's gotten a real close and real big again as we roll under the planets regularly, and they become smaller and then larger and smaller and larger, and it causes close passes and weather eddies and all sorts of stuff. And for those of you down in Louisiana with Tropical Storm Cindy that's going to brunt all the way up the East Coast for the next couple of days, I'm terribly sorry for your events, and everybody better hunker down and put away all your lawn furniture. Anyway, moving along. Okay, here we go again. Here we've got the purple of Attu. Everybody can't argue with Attu. Here we've got Attu's moon. The shapes of the object cluster coming in repeatedly over time after time. These shapes are very noticeable. You guys are getting great captures out there now that you know what you're looking for. Moving on. Okay, this is literally the bottom bubbly momentous clouds of a close pass of one of the planets. Hello guys, we've seen this hundreds and hundreds and hundreds of times. Ion drop tails. Notice how the standard cumulus nimbus clouds flatten out here at these edges, which shows you this is an overhead object creating its own bubbly atmosphere from the gas giant's close pass to Earth. Okay, here's one really good. It can be debated all you want, but this standard shadowing matches that of Isatum, which is, of course, on this side of the right-hand side of the sun, and has been for quite some time because it's kind of distant between us and the sun. And I believe it actually passed real close to the sun here rather a month or so ago, and we have proof pictures of that as well. But this is a great capture, and I wanted to thank the people that sent it in and let them know I see a level of legitimacy, because the shadowing actually matches other pictures that we have of Isatum, and this could be Isatum's yellow moon, which we know puts off the ion thread link and the trails and all this other stuff. And this could be a really good side view, and I do believe it is, even though it might look slightly refractory and lens fail or whatever. It really somehow it matches Isatum's shadowing. So this is a great picture. Thank you. All right, we know this shape, guys. This is Atu's moon next to Atu. Here's the sun over here. We know it's moved over to the right-hand side again, and Nibiru is behind, back in there. Moving along. We know there's electrical discharging events coming from the passing of the planets. The planets do not collide, they repel each other. For all you new members, you really have to get back, on board with this. We've been teaching the same thing over and over again, and I'm sorry if I can't get back to you as soon as possible. I just got so many people talking to me in private messages and on the phone at home all the time. I can't get to all my messages, and I do try. Anyway, moving along. Okay, there's another one. Now, we can also remember that the object cluster group also discharges to the planets as well. And if you can see in the background, and we know what's where, and we see the purple, there we know that Atu's there. But it's likely that this is the object cluster group, again, discharging to Atu, which we have numerous, if you look here, these could be the lead objects because we have numerous pictures of them doing just this as well. And so this could be a discharge of one of the other pieces. We know that the passing objects discharge. Okay, here's a one from Christopher Hill. Thank you very much. I mean, talking about lead object and objects, this is exactly what I think it is as well. And he's got a great capture there, and I really appreciate it, and it's phenomenal. Okay, here's an overview of one of his other picture, and I believe it's colorized. It's not the actual color, but that's the overall picture, and he has a couple more, which substantiate that's in the same area, which is right below the sun. Okay, here's a side picture. This is a crescent illumination of a planet, and most likely it is Atu again when she's coming in very large and very close. Okay, we've got the purple hue, which tells you, but this is when the sunlight shines on the side of the planet, and we're seeing a crescent illumination. Okay, this is literally the bottom of a planet. You can see it right here. You see the swirling ion clouds. This is the real sky and what the rest of everything should look. But you guys have got to realize that Uri and all these planets, when they're passing, sometimes completely cut off the whole top of us. Another example, Atu's moon, Atu, Uri behind, object cluster group rounding. Now, a lot of times it's been rounding like this. It's visibly showed up on radar. Last week we had an alert on Montana Skywatchers, and for those of you who missed it, I'm sorry, but those people who were on board, thank you for your comments. It really helped us watch it go by, even on radar. It was a really cool event. Sorry, a lot of people didn't get in on this, but it's happening. All right, here's another example. This one came in, I believe, from Australia. Or wait a minute, no, South Africa. Anyway, Atu's moon, object cluster group items, etc. Here we have the ion drag-off cloud, Atu moving over to the right-hand side of the thing. We've got Atu's moon. It's causing this ion drag-off tail, etc., etc. It happens, and we've got drawings of that going back the years. Okay, bottom of Atu again. Here is Uri. We can see the stripes of Uri, and we see this green hue, which we know by the drawings that are coming up that Nemesis is behind Uri, and if you look right here, that could be her, etc. And then we know Saru is behind that, which is also blue-green. Okay, here it is again, and in a this is a cut-off illumination where the planets that are here are being illuminated by the sun from the angle, and you're seeing the green color hue from Nemesis, and this could even be Atu's moon in front of striped Atu, because in the drawings that are coming up, you will see this matches. Okay, we're seeing the cutoff flare of blue light shining through of the tool star, of which is probably Nibiru right here. Big, huge, massive. There's an object here. Saturn is known to be in this area. That would account for the red, etc., including a Saturn and her yellow moon, which, there's also a Melsaru in that area, and Nana as well, and we know that to be on that side of Nibiru. So as long as, this could be the object cluster group and coming in again, because they come in partially misty and then they fill in as they get closer and closer. Okay, here's a fantastic shot. This is Atu again. Here's Atu's moon. Here's the shape of the object cluster group coming in again. Now, the shape shows up around the world over and over and over again. Here we have a illuminated bottom of a planet as sunset is happening. This could even be the illumination, the facial of Uri. See, you guys got to look for this illumination. Why is it that bright and that bold when the sun is actually about that big and setting? Okay, another example. Add 2's moon, add 2. It's the shape over and over again. This came in from off the west coast, I believe. Here's from the palm tree areas of Mexico again. Add 2, add 2's moon has moved over to the right hand side of the sun. Many examples of that in the last 2 weeks. Thank you. And this is the object cluster group coming in, rounding underneath. Add 2's the moon is probably up here, but this is the object cluster group coming in. And there's a bunch of stuff in there. And you guys, I've seen it huge go by so fast I couldn't believe it. It's a heads up. This thing is freaky scary. Okay, add 2, Nibiru, Uri, Nepesi, Saru is back here behind here. Isatum is near the sun. Object Clustered Group, OCG. I've said it and typed it so many times. We've abbreviated it to OCG. For you new folks, you really got to get on board with this. We've watched the movement of the planets. We've seen where everything is going. You know, we're seeing regular pictures. Uh, the object cluster group and even some of the larger objects, there's like 4 or 5 groups, and they come in under the sun during the day as the sun rounds the whole spectrum. It's really quite a trip, and if you sit and watch it long enough, you'll be able to see what's happening, because everybody out there is finally getting some really cool captures, and they actually know what they're looking for. Great job, guys. Thanks. All right, we know add 2's white moon, object cluster group streaks by. This has moved over to the left as it has moved to the right-hand side of the sun. Before, when it was on the left-hand side, this moon was on this side. Now that it's on the right-hand side of the sun, the white moon is round over here. It's showing up in everybody's pictures, especially in Christopher Hills the other day. I got 1 or 2 of them laying around, which we may see here in a second. Okay, yeah, as a matter of fact, this is one he took and sent in just like yesterday, and I had to add this to the file that I published yesterday. But here we have add 2's moon, we have Uri, Nepesity, Nibiru is behind, another explanation. Here again, add 2's moon. This is a second one of his. It's a slight transition showing the darker blue. What you guys got to look for is the dark side first. Don't look at this bright white stuff. This is a flaring reaction to all of these planets pinching off this tiny little bit of sunlight. You can see the shaft in the water. This is dark. You can see this is wholly a planet. Atu stands here. The rest is Nibiru. Again, Atu, ion drag-off trails. This is the object cluster group, and I used this in the last video because these are small objects and they haul butt past, including this stuff. There is a bunch of it up there, and you guys really need to watch out for this. Okay, again. All right, there's that reaction again. You can see the flaring because there's objects here. The sun may be here, but it's all being pinched and created a new difference. Okay, we're back full circles. Anyway, you guys have a really great day. Aloha from tropical Montana, Montana Skywatchers 1 and 2, Samuel Hofman on Facebook. I'd like you guys to share this as much as you can because I'm kind of blocked in a lot of spaces. And would you please go out and teach what you have learned. Have a great day.